Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today I'm going to continue on with the Hues of Happiness suite using the Happiness Abounds stamp set. So I had a little bit of a play with this and I started here. This is just scrap paper. And I started here and I thought, oh, that's really pretty. Let's see how it goes if I use blending brushes. So what I did with this card is I stamped the image with the Memento ink, and then I used a blending brush to kind of fill it in with the Flirty Flamingo. And for the leaves, I took the soft sea foam and I just rubbed it on paper, and then I stamped in the soft sea foam and cut them out. And I put that together and I thought, well, that's really nice, but I really kind of like this one better. So I wanted to show you this option, but we're actually going to make this option here. So what I've got is I've done my stamping with the StazOn, or so with the Memento, sorry. I've used the large flower, and I wanted to show you how I got the leaves close like this. You can see that this has got a stem that goes all the way kind of down. So what I did is I just inked up the leaves. I didn't ink up the stem. I don't know if you can see. The stem doesn't have any ink on it. It is just the leaves that I've inked up so that I can tuck it in really, really close to the flower without getting that stem in there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to color this in. So bear with me. The coloring takes a bit of time, and I'm going to use this as my guide because I am not overly clever with the colors and with blending. So I'm using Daffodil Delight in the middle. I used the light one, and I am going to use the Flirty Flamingo blends. I'm going to do some I'm going to use the thinner, the pen tip, and I'm just going to do some kind of spikes out from the center. And then I'm going to come in and I'm just going to color in where the leaves have, or the petals have curled around, just to give it a little bit of depth. So I'm just going to come in and color like this. So you all seem to really like the Hues of Happiness suite. I've got lots and lots of feedback on both my kind of sweet introduction video and the last video I did using the designer series paper. And that designer series paper, I think I'm going to have to get a lot of it because it really, really is just gorgeous. I'm just going to add just a little bit of kind of detail into the petals here, just a little bit, just to add some depth. As I say, I am not overly clever. I would love to be more artistic, but I am not, like I say, that clever with it. I don't practice often enough to do this, and it's never been a real skill of mine, whether it was art classes when I was much younger in school, or I took some watercolor painting classes years ago, and I enjoyed it, but I am definitely not able to see kind of the levels and layers of the things that I am painting. I definitely need to follow a guide if I was to do that. When I'm looking at Pinterest, I see, you know, they have the kind of speeded up videos of people painting flowers, and I'm completely in awe of what they're able to do, because it is certainly not a skill that I have perfected. And I noticed that there was a couple pieces in here that I didn't highlight with the darker ink. So we'll leave that as it is just for now. I might come in and add some color to it a little bit later. I'm going to take the soft sea foam. I'm going to take the dark, and I'm just going to draw some veins in the middle of the leaves here, just to add some interest and a little bit of depth. And then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to give them a color in like this. So for me, I think if this set had been like a 2-step or a 3-step stamping set, it would have been perfect for me because I could stamp the color background. But what it is going to do is it's going to give me lots and lots of practice at using my blends. So that's probably a good thing. And there's lots of people on Pinterest and that who do a very good job with the blends. So I'm going to look at that, and I am going to come in again and just add a little bit of the light Flirty Flamingo in, just to kind of blend it around a little bit. Just give it a little bit more depth. Just like that. I think that's probably enough. And when it dries, it will be a completely different color. So I'm just going to put those off to the side. And I have got a large stitched rectangle that I am going to use. I'm going to use my mini cut and emboss as well. So I'll get this lined up in the machine. And the thing with the smaller cut and emboss is your pieces have to go through essentially with a straight edge at the roller, and it can feel like it's not actually going to go through. It can feel like it's going to jam, but it will go through. You just have to crank on it a little bit. I'm going to make sure that I'm lined up and I've got that on it. So bear with me while I get this through the machine. And it's not going to go. Is it? No. Why is it not going? It's because I have the paper jammed in there. Okay, so note to self, make sure your paper fits before you try and wind it through. And I am not doing a very good job of showing off the Stamp and Cut, the mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss, because it's not taking the folder through. So I'm going to try running it through this way instead. Yeah, it just needed a bit more lead on the thing. And you know what? I apologize, everyone. It's not going to take the die because it is the way it is. Sorry, I'm just going to pull out the big machine. So this is a really good exercise for me as well, because I do like to use this. I'm just going to pull out my other board. So, like I say, this one, bear with me while I get this sorted. But I'm just going to pop this through, and I need my other plates. So, this tells us that you cannot use the thin or the smaller cutting plates with the large machine. So they are not interchangeable. So we're going to call that a really cool lesson, and you can learn with me as I go through the process. And that's much easier, except I have put the straight edge through. So, like I say, we don't like to do that, but sometimes it is inevitable. I'm just going to put this off to the side, and we'll unpack this and carry on. So that has taught us all, and you will probably remember that forever because Lorraine messed it up in the video, which is fine. I am absolutely happy to learn with you, and what it means is you will absolutely know what to do and what not to do. So the catalog actually will show you, there'll be a little icon in the corner of the dies set in the catalog that will show you what is which machine you can use. They have the little icon for the mini cut and emboss. So I'm going to take the friend stamp and I'm just going to put it along the bottom like that. And I've already run the card front through the painted texture 3D embossing folder. So I'm going to just adhere this with my Stampin' Seal. And then I'm going to use dimensionals on this piece here. And I've got a bunch of dimensionals that I'm just finishing up off the edge of this one. And I'll just pop those on like that. There we go. Just peel the bits off. And then we can pop this down right in the middle. Center it up nicely. And there we go. And I did have, and here they are, these are the polished dots. And I'm just going to grab some of the small ones. Oh, that one can go right there. And pop them down on the card. And we are all done. So thank you for your patience through this video as I look at different ways to use the Happiness Abounds stamp set. So I started off, as I say, I started off with this card here, and in the video we created this card here. So a couple of different options for you. As I say, I really kind of preferred this one. So, and that's just using the stamps. I haven't used any dies on this card. So if you just have the stamp set, you've still got lots and lots of options to use. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.